Hello everyone, I am Prince Chapno Luna, and today I will discuss the Manila hostage crisis, or the officially known as the Rizal Park hostage taking incident. And I will also discuss the seven questions about the incident, the hostage taking incident. Before I proceed to answer those questions, let me give some brief context about Rolando del Rosario Mendoza. Okay, Rolando del Rosario Mendoza was born on January 10, 1955 in Naik, Cavite, and graduated from the Philippine College of Criminology with a degree of criminology. He was joined the Philippine National Police Force as a patrolman in 1981 on April, and rose to become a police captain. He was decorated 17 times of bravery and honor, and he was described by the colleagues as hardworking and kind. In February 1986, Mendoza led a group of policemen that accosted a van carrying 13 crates full of money, which former Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos was apparently trying to smuggle out of the country. Mendoza and his team turned the shipment over to the two authorities, for which he was declared one of the 10 outstanding policemen of the Philippines by the JCS International that year. Okay. The Manila hostage crisis, or officially known as the Rizal Park hostage-taking incident, took place when a disgruntled former Philippine National Police officer named Rolando del Rosario Mendoza hijacked a tourist bus in Rizal Park, Manila, Philippines. On August 23, 2010, the bus carried 25 people, 20 tourists, a tour guide from Hong Kong, and 4 local Filipinos. Okay. Mendoza claimed that he had been unfairly dismissed from his job and demanded a fair hearing to defend himself. And now we will continue and to answer those questions about the hostage taking incident. Okay, the first question is, what lead to hostage situations? Okay, Mendoza was a former policeman fired from service due to extortions, alleged drug violator, no retirement benefit, which is only a year away. Mendoza had constantly claimed to be innocent in charges pressed against him, repeatedly appealing to the office of the Ombudsman. But Mendoza's brothers Gregorio and Florencio later stated that all his brother wanted was a fair hearing by the Ombudsman, who never even gave him a chance to defend himself. Okay, they just immediately dismiss him. That is why Mendoza make decisions to hostage the tourist bus, because it would maximize attention, makakuha sa attention, o mo na kuha nga kuha ni Mendoza nga iyang i hostage ang tourist bus kay mas dali ka kuha attention sa authorities, and he knew that his action would be broadcast widely, hoping to pressure the authorities into meeting his demand. Okay, mo to yang kon dali mo kon siya ba, once nga maka praniya bitaw, once nga maka hostage siya, is murag makuha niya ang attention sa authorities bitaw, para ang iyahang demand mahatag dayon, or kunan sa tawag kato na ng matagad ang iyang kuan ba, iyang gusto. So mao to answer sa number 1 question. The second question is, how did the Philippine authorities respond? Okay, the police initially attempted negotiations, but the situations escalated, resulting in field rescue operations. Okay, authorities were blamed for poor coordinations, inadequate planning, and miscommunications. The ultimate outcome was the death of 8 Hong Kong tourists. The negotiation team was often inconsistent in its communication, and the media broadcasted that event live, providing Mendoza with information that worsened the standoff. Okay? The response from the Philippine government and law enforcement was met with widespread public outrage, particularly from Hong Kong, where the incident sparked calls for accountability and justice. A government investigations later concluded that there were significant failures in handling the crisis, leading to reform in the police procedures. The ground commander Magtibay was mistaken by that operations because after the escape of driver said that everyone is all dead, he ordered the Manila SWAT team to take charge, but it was lack of equipment. Instead of the Special Action Force or the staff with a highly practiced unit, he chose the Manila SWAT team caused to some failure during operations. Okay? Uh, ang ang pag-response sa authorities is maratag palpak bitaw ng naslay fan ba lack sila og preparations about sa nga situations like katong gibuhat ni Magtibay. Instead katong pag-ingon sa driver nga patay na tanan, instead nga ang iyang dat-on dito is ang staff which is highly trained personnel. Ang iyang gipa takes charge is the SWAT. Dayon ang SWAT is pag-response nila sa incident is mo dahang failure ba palpak dili mao sa ilang gi-demo before sa kuan mahitabo ang ngadto nga incident. And also the broadcast or the media was wrong also there because wala pa ang media nag-apil-apil to, dili man to makita ni Mendoza sa TV sa bus, mato inungdan nga na feel pod ni Mendoza nga mo tawag sayop ang yang gibuhat, murag gibali siya ba, murag ginoon nga paminon niya is sayop yang gibuhat didto ming na trigger siya samot siya kasuko sa authorities or sa kanto matong nagtawag siya og media, which is he said that media will 3 PM deadlock yang gipangayo, then authorities is wala gihatag. Next is the third questions. What were the outcomes of the incident? Okay, the outcomes of the incident was the death of 8 Hong Kong tourists. The incident strained diplomatic relationship between the Philippines and Hong Kong, with calls for justice and accountability from the victim families and the Hong Kong government. Hong Kong imposed travel advisories against the Philippines affecting tourism and trade. In response to the crisis, the Philippine National Police faced intense criticism for their handling of the situation, with multiple investigations revealing poor planning, miscommunication, and lack of expertise in hostage situation. Okay, this led to internal reform, including improvement in police training, crisis management protocol, and the formations of a more specialized hostage rescue team. The crisis also prompted a review of the country's crisis response strategy and the role of media in sensitive situation. Okay, as live coverage during the standoff had potentially worsened, okay, the situation. The victim families filed lawsuit seeking justice and comprehensions, but this proceeding were slow and met with various legal challenges. Finally, the Philippines faced an international reassessment of its police capabilities and public safety standard, which led to a long-term impact on the international image. Okay, mao to ang outcome sa incident nga ngadto. Dahag criticism ba, dahag mga story, dahag mga criticize ang Philippine National Police because of their lack of planning, especially the improvement sa ilang communications, lack sila expertise about hostage situations. And also katong ingon na ang media wala pa to sila nag-live kuan sa ilahang balita kay isim po to sila parindutay balita kato wala pa sila nag-live coverage during the standoff. Dili to mo mas mugrabe bitaw ang problema kay dito mo pud trigger usa si Mendoza nga iyang giyog i-continue ang iyang krimen. And the fourth question is, were there any controversies surrounding the response? Okay, yes, the response to the 2010 Manila hostage crisis was surrounded by several controversies that sparked criticism both domestically and internationally. Okay, one major or Osaka major issue was poor police coordination and lack of leadership, with multiple law enforcement agencies failing to work together effectively. Okay, the negotiation process was another point of contention, as the police team was accused of making contradictory promises to the hostage taker Rolando Mendoza and failing to resolve his demands in a timely manner. Moreover, media coverage of the crisis became a significant controversy, as live broadcasted provided Mendoza with information about police tactics, potentially escalating the situation. The police was widely criticized for its lack of proper training and preparations for hostage rescue operation. The delayed and botched rescue attempt was chaotic, with poorly coordinated actions that allowed Mendoza to open fire on the hostages, resulting in multiple deaths. Many questions the role of President Benigno Aquino III that time, that who was criticized for not taking stronger leadership during the crisis in allowing the situations to drag on for too long before intervening. Another point of controversy was the failure to address Mendoza's grievances, particularly his wrongful dismissal from the police force, which played a central role in hostage taking. Okay, mato ang mga controversies nga nahitabo adto. Ang usa ka kanto is katong poor police coordinations. Poor sila, wala sila kan ba? Wala sila kan ba kanang ilaham taong unsay angay buhaton nila is palpak ba, or poor kayo ang ilahang coordination adto, especially sa negotiation process. Dito pag negotiate, I know di madili sa yun ang pag-negotiate sa usa ka suspect. But dito na feel mo gud ni Mendoza dito sa usa ka negotiator nga si Yebra na namutbot niya motong wala siya ming salig sa ni Yebra nga makig-negotiate. Okay, and the fifth question was that how did international community react to Mendoza's hostage incident? Okay, the international community's reactions to 2010 Manila hostage crisis was one of the shock, anger, and concern, particularly from Hong Kong and other countries whose citizens were directly affected. Okay, the Hong Kong government was the most vocal, condemning the Philippine authorities' handling of the crisis and demanding accountability. The Hong Kong Special Administrative Region issued an official statement calling the response unacceptable, with Chief Executive Donald Chang expressing deep disappointment over the Philippine police failures to protect the hostages. In the aftermath, Hong Kong imposed a travel ban on the Philippines, warning its citizens to avoid traveling to the country, and downgraded its travel advisory to the highest level of caution. Okay? The families of the victims, who were from Hong Kong, were also vocal in their anger, seeking justice and compensation for their loved ones' deaths. Hong Kong demanded a thorough investigations into the botched rescue operations and called for the Philippine government to take full responsibility. Diplomatic tensions escalated, with the Hong Kong government state that it would not lift the travel ban until the Philippines made full amends and provide justice for the victim. Okay? The Philippine government issued an official apology, with President Benigno Aquino III expressing regret, but this was seen as insufficient by many Hong Kong. Several countries, including the United States and China, expressed their condolences and support for their victim families, but also urged the Philippine government to improve its crisis management capabilities. the hostage crisis lead to increased scrutiny of the Philippine police force, with many international observers questioning its ability to handle complex situations like hostage rescues, and calling for reforms in the country law enforcement and security practices. Overall, the international community reaction was one of the condemnations, with a clear demand for accountability and improvement in the Philippine emergency response system. Okay, mo ni ang react sa mga sa international community nga labi sa Hong Kong nga giban ang pag-travel, giina nila ang ilang mga citizens nga dili gibawal sila travel dito sa atoa dito sa Philippines. Usa to sa reaction sa Hong Kong ng sa pertinitong sakita. Then wala nila dawata ang apology ni former President Aquino that time, because ilang gi-seek is to give the justice for their family of the deaths. Okay? Mato ang sa Hong Kong, ang sulti sa government sa Hong Kong is ilang ibalik ang ilang tangtangon ang pagban sa travel diri sa Pilipinas once nga ma-resolve ang or mahatag ang justice sa mga pamilya nga nawad-an sa ilang mahal sa buhay. Mao to. The sixth question is that what were the long-term consequences for Philippines' reputations? The long-term consequences for the Philippines' reputations following the 2010 Mendoza's hostage crisis were significant and far-reaching. First, the international image of the Philippines took a severe hit as the crisis imposed deep flaws in the country's law enforcement capabilities and crisis management system. Many foreign governments, especially the Hong Kong, criticized the Philippine authorities for their poor handling of the situations, which lead to widespread condemnations and distrust. The diplomatic relationship between the Philippines and Hong Kong were particularly strained, with Hong Kong imposing a travel ban on the Philippines and lowering its travel advisory, affecting tourism and bilateral ties. The Philippines was also criticized for failing to hold accountable to police officers and officials responsible for the mishandling of the crisis, which led to questions about the country's governance and commitment to justice. And about to economics, the crisis had a negative impact on tourism, particularly from Hong Kong and other parts of China, which was a key source of visitors to the Philippines. Moreover, the hostage crisis served as a wake-up call for the Philippines government to invest in better crisis management, though many critics felt that reform were introduced too slowly. Okay? Mato yung mga consequences nga nadawat sa Philippines after the incident. Ang Hong Kong o in China nga usa sa sigig visit diri sa Pilipinas, usa sa mga more tourist bitaw nga mo visit diri sa Pilipinas is dito na apektuhan ang Pilipinas is because gi-travel ban nila ang ilang mga citizen nga pabawalan nga moanhi sa Pilipinas. Nga mo usa ka naka-epekto sa economic diri sa Pilipinas. The last question is, if you were the negotiator, what measures would you have done to prevent the killings? If I were the negotiator during the 2010 Mendoza hostage crisis, my first step would have been to establish a calm, empathetic rapport with Ronaldo Mendoza, acknowledging his grievances without escalating tension. I would have focused on active listening, making sure he felt heard while trying to diffuse his anger and build trust. From the beginning, I would have emphasized that violence would only make his situation worse, offering him the hope of peaceful resolutions. I would have proposed concrete actions to address his demand, such as a formal review of his dismissal, ensuring he felt his concerns were being taken seriously by authorities. Okay? I would have insisted on controlling the media coverage to prevent Mendoza from receiving outside information that would escalate the situations, especially regarding police action. Okay? Throughout the negotiations, I would have used time as a tool, remaining patient and avoiding any rush to immediate actions, which could have triggered a violent response. I would have involved Mendoza's family early in the process, knowing that emotional ties could help sway him to release the hostages and surrender peacefully. My focus would be on keeping him engaged in dialogue, offering gradual concessions, and emphasizing the benefit of peaceful surrender. Kay mao to ako ang uh, measures and prevent the killings if I am the negotiator. And I know that negotiator is lisod yun. Lisod is i-handle ang usa ka suspect, especially nga na si dako kang kalagot. Mato ako ang focus is pakalmahon and pakalmahon usa pod is akong dadon akong kuano niyang pamilya o gisay suod kay niya, akong ipakalma siya para sa gibuhat sa iyang igsuon nga gipakalma sa niya, wala niya gipadayon ang 3 PM deadlock about sa media. Kay katong media mong god mao po tong usa ka rason, mao to ang usa pud nako nga measures na ang mga media is bawalan sa mag live broadcast. Kay didto mong god sa media nakita ni Mendoza ang unsay operations, unsay plan sa police, unsay tactics nga pagabuhaton nila, and gipakita po dito sa balita nga sa mo tawag mas gipagrabe ba, mas gipang gi mo tawag gihagwa gid si Mendoza, mga murag malagot siya ba kay sa iyang nakita sa balita daw nga mura siya sayop kisa tan-awon sa balita. O mo to ako measure. Okay, that's all, and I hope ako ra pong natubag ang 7 questions. And once again, I am Prince Jopni Luna.